Mike, I'll call it. It's funny that you did that topic on that page. I was just thinking about that very thing today. How that's the only page actually in As Bill Sees It that I can remember the page, because it's 12 times 12 and that's 144, and that's where it's at. And to me, it was Bill W. saying, maybe you need to pay attention to this page. And what he was saying was something very interesting, and it makes me think of something I've heard since I've been here. And I haven't been here for a millennium, but I've been here for a minute. Is stick with the winners. I mean, you hear it the first time you walk in. You're not sure what it means. You're fairly clear. But on a deeper level, what does it mean, stick with the winners? If I'm going to stick with the winner, that means I gotta judge who's the winner or not. Obviously, that's implied in that statement. Pretty deep. I'll leave it right there, but I will talk about what he said on that page. And it's an interesting thing. You hear Step 10 talked about continue to take personal inventory, and somebody will make a joke. Well, I've been taking people's personal inventory all my life. That shouldn't be a problem. And they go, no, dummy, that's talking about your personal inventory. And then there we have the page 144 in As Bill Sees It. And it makes you think, I wonder, is it just my personal inventory? Because on that page it talks about such a private inventory should be taken about those in who I would place my trust. And that's in black and white on that page. It said to trust everyone would be folly. I can't be blind to other people's motives. But it added something very interesting that I need to be aware of, because I can get confused between the word judgment and the word assessment. Because on that page he uses the word assessment. He said I should assess the ability of someone to do harm. He did not say judge. So I had to go look them up. Judge means to project onto someone else traits or things about them that I couldn't possibly know based on external things, whatever they may be. I'll just leave it there. An assessment is me observing somebody's behavior. That is not a judgment. That's why he used the word assessment. Now, if you're new, this is really more for the new people, because I think it's important to assess those that are around you. I mean, assess those that you begin to hang around in this new journey. I mean, I need to make assessments about whose car I'm getting in. I need to make assessments about who I let in my car, because they'll stick it under the seat and it's mine. Now you think, oh, Mike, you're supposed to trust everybody in the program. I understand, but that's folly. Here's what I've learned. Just because somebody's sitting in a chair in an AA meeting does not mean they're walking a spiritual path. And if you've been around here for a minute, you know that you take me off the sauce, never heard the word steps. I come in here with no steps. I can be much more cunning, baffling, and powerful, and dangerous, because I got no alcohol and no steps. Now you know the percentages that make it. I won't bore you with that, but that gives you some perspective about this room may be full, and there may be a lot of members, but how many fellows are in here? For me to be a fellow, I got to work the steps. So I think it's real important to make those assessments. I had an opportunity to be a part of a situation where somebody mentioned something and they were looking for a cosigner. They said, oh man, I was drinking this cough syrup and I'm sick. This and that. And several of the people going, oh, it's cool. You're sick. This and that. And I was like, wow, I'm watching some bullshit get so cosigned right now. Now, do I rain on this parade, or do I just do the moonwalk right up on out of that situation? I was like Michael Jackson. Ain't even worth saying nothing. They done convinced themselves, let's go get 2 for 15. I know where that's going to end up. I've been here for 30. So, what that page tells me is that not only is it necessary, but that page says I have a duty to my program. Go read it. I have a duty to make assessments of those in who I would place my trust. Now, before you think I'm getting too cynical, let me throw out another page for you where Bill was clear about this. As he started AA to form, he realized this ain't just me and a few guys that I absolutely know and where they're coming from and I can trust every word they say. He started seeing folks come in out of the rain and out of the woodwork for all kinds of reasons. On 141 in the big book, it talks about, this is not to say that all alcoholics are honest and upright when not drinking. Some will take advantage of your kindness. Go look it up. What is it saying? Be careful. Now I know he wrote that before he wrote As Bill Sees It. Maybe he felt like he needed to expound on that one statement a little bit. Because see, I need to take care of my recovery. I can't rely on you for it. I can't sit in this chair and expect osmosis to take over for it. I got to work my own steps. Now, I would like for you to be with me on my journey, but it's up to me to decide who is on this journey with me. And believe me, having been around as long as I have had to let some people go, and I have had some people stab me more than in the back. So if you're around here and you've been around here as long as I have, you become a little jaded. It's hard to trust because you've been hurt, because you let somebody get close. And you know if you've been around here long enough, you've lost everybody you came in here with. Now, I'm not trying to upset anybody, but there's a certain amount of dose of reality if you're new you're going to have to get up next to. So all the friends in my cottage, number 2, up in the woods up there, I won't name the place, I ain't never seen not a single one of them in a meeting. And there was 32 of us, okay? So everybody has to decide themselves how serious they want to be about their recovery. I can't trust everybody. I've got to safeguard and cherish my recovery, and I've got to hold it dear. And sometimes I've got to let friends go, not because of judgments, because of assessments based on principle. Because sometimes principles are more important than personalities. I think I've said enough. I'll pass.
I'm Daniel. I've always